Abdisho I was Patriarch of the Church of the East from 963 to 986. Abdisho's Patriarchate. The following account of Abdisho's Patriarchate is given by Bar Hebraeus. Then a certain doctor of secular priests, Patriarch by name, went to the governor, and promised him 300,000 numi of silver to be appointed Catholicus. On hearing the news, the bishops fled and hid, so that they should not be forced to consecrate him. Then the lawyers interceded between the bishops and the governor, and promised to hand over 130,000 zuz from the patriarchal cell provided that they were allowed to elect a leader of their own choice. It is said that after the death of Emmanuel 70,000 gold dinars were found in his cell, and 6,000 silver zuz. But the lawyers did not know that such a sum of money had come to light, but instead took the precious objects from the churches, and the gold and silver cups, and broke them and sold them so that they could offer the proceeds to the governor. Then, by common consent, lots were drawn. The lots bore the names of 4 candidates, and the name of Abdisho, the bishop of Ma'ala, was drawn. He was accepted by all, and although he did his best to refuse the honor and only consented reluctantly, he was consecrated in the year 352. He was well versed in canon law and was instructed in dialectic by Barnasya, the disciple of the most devout Mushbar Kefa, one of our men. Up to the time of the Catholicus, during the service of the Eucharist, the celebrants at the altar recited one sentence from the Creed while the congregation responded with another sentence. They did the same thing with the prayer, Our Father, which art in heaven. He now instructed that everybody should recite the words at the same time, as we do. Ecclesiastical administration. Abdisho was a pious and well-read man, but would have been a better patriarch if he had demanded the highest standards of conduct from his officials. Some of his assistants enriched themselves during his reign from the ample funds left in the treasury by Emmanuel I. The peculation mostly went unchecked by the patriarch. Though Abdisho dismissed 1 or 2 men in his entourage whose misdeeds were too scandalous to escape notice, he also did not always discipline his bishops as they deserved. He deposed the arrogant Bishop Abraham of Kashgar, who was ruling his diocese with a high hand, but later relented and sent him back to his former diocese of Hamadan. In other respects, however, he was a sound administrator. According to Mari, he consecrated a total of 134 metropolitans and bishops. At the time of his death, only 3 archdioceses did not have an archbishop, and the vacancy in the archdiocese of Basra, due to the death of its metropolitan Abd al-Masih, occurred only 2 days before Abdisho's own death. Abdisho attempted to revive the faltering Nestorian mission to China. His interest in this mission was recorded by the 10th century Nestorian writer Abu al-Faraj, who met a Nestorian monk in Baghdad in 987 who had recently returned from China. In the year 377 of the Arabs, in the Christian quarter behind the church, I met a monk from Najran who 7 years before he had been sent by the Catholicus to China with 5 other clergy to set in order the affairs of the Christian church. I saw a man still young and of a pleasant appearance, but he spoke little and did not open his mouth except to answer the questions which were put to him. I asked him for some information about his journey, and he told me that Christianity was just extinct in China. The native Christians had perished in one way or another. The church which they had used had been destroyed, and there was only 1 Christian left in the land. The monk, having found no one remaining to whom his ministry could be of any use, returned more quickly than he went.